Dragon Ball Dark Dimension. Chapter 1. Ding, congratulations to the host for coming to the Dragon Ball world, your super invincible overlord system is ready. Cheng Yu got up in a daze and found himself by a lake. Cheng Yu was also confused at this time. Where is this? How did I come to the wild? Ding, this is the Dragon Ball world, checking the current location. Currently located on a remote planet in the 7th universe, there are no life forms on the planet. Cheng Yu was even more confused when he heard the words from his mind. But after reacting, he was excited. Very excited. Cheng Yu thought about getting rid of it. This is the Dragon Ball world, his favorite anime, coming here to learn how to use chi and even explode stars. Host, please abandon those unrealistic fantasies. You are just an ordinary person now. Cheng Yu was annoyed immediately after hearing this, and said loudly. Aren't you a system? What's the novice gift package like? And shouldn't you make me stronger? Ding, the system is always just an auxiliary, and the real power still needs the host to practice by himself. Now open the choice. First, unlimited potential with Cyan blood. Second, Namek blood can evolve into dragon race. Third, frozen demon blood can evolve. Fourth, earthling blood. Cheng Yu was also confused when he heard the choices given by the system in his mind, so he said, What? Do you look down on me, an earthling? Ding, in Dragon Ball, the evolution of earthlings is really unimaginable, and the physique and lifespan of earthlings are actually not as good as other races. Cheng Yu did not reply, because he also acquiesced to this fact. In the world of Dragon Ball where the combat power collapsed, it seems to be true. Give me a choice. Although the others are good, I can get along better with the protagonist group as a Saiyan. Cheng Yu said, the system has confirmed it. Cheng Yu noticed that there was an itch behind his buttocks, and he reached out and grabbed a tail, which scared him. Thinking carefully, Cheng Yu also noticed that this was a sign of the fusion of Cyan blood. But Cheng Yu gradually found that his body muscles were gradually getting bigger, with chest muscles and abdominal muscles, and his hair was standing up from a pot lid. Cheng Yu went directly to the lake and looked at the clothes stretched by the muscles, and took off his clothes and left his pants. Looking at his perfect figure and the three-dimensional facial features and super high appearance due to the standing hair, he was stunned. Cheng Yu was immediately excited when he came back to his senses, but he still patiently asked the system. System, what role or function do you have, can you introduce it? Ding, this system is a super invincible and domineering sign-in system. The host can sign in to get rewards, and the value of the rewards varies. Of course, you can sign in at any time. The longer the sign-in interval, the better the reward. The shortest sign-in time is 1 day, and the longest varies. Cheng Yu understood what the system said, and was about to walk around, but then he reacted and asked. System, where is the novice gift package? You swallowed it for me, does this Cyan blood count? Ding, congratulations to the host for getting a novice gift package. Cheng Yu also laughed angrily and said. Your broken system, if I don't want it, are you going to hack it for me? Your system must be black-hearted. Open the novice gift package. Ding, congratulations to the host for mastering the control of Qi, congratulations to the host for the skill Kamehameha, congratulations to the host for a set of martial arts uniforms, congratulations to the host for obtaining 10 senzu beans, congratulations to the host for obtaining a set of gravity training uniforms, gravity can be adjusted from 0 to 1000 times, and congratulations to the host for obtaining 1000 points of combat power. The above items are all in the system space and can be taken out and put in at any time by the host's thoughts. Note that the system space is infinite, but it cannot store living things. Cheng Yu was excited when he heard the rewards spoken by the system in his mind, thinking, this broken system is awesome, so luxurious. After the mastery of Qi and combat power were integrated into Cheng Yu's body by the system, Cheng Yu also sat down and slowly adapted to his body. No, system, how can I leave here? And what time is it now, how far have the protagonists developed? If it has developed to the Frisia plot, I will be killed instantly. Cheng Yu felt more and more that something was wrong. Ding, the protagonist group is currently at the world's #1 martial arts tournament, and Piccolo has just been born. For the rest, please wait patiently. Cheng Yu was furious when he heard the system's words. He was just one Kamehameha away from exploding the star. Although he was angry, Cheng Yu still had to live, so he prepared to stay on the planet temporarily. Cheng Yu stood up, controlled his breath, and flew up. Cheng Yu also accepted his fate, looking for food everywhere, and adapting to the combat power given by the system. It's strange to say that other time travelers are soul travelers, but our protagonist is amazing. He wears the clothes directly, and how does he wear it? On a sunny afternoon, Cheng Yu originally returned home from get off work. After a day of tiring work, Cheng Yu's body was also very tired. Cheng Yu took a comfortable bath. But just when he was lying on the bed after taking a bath and preparing to watch videos, Cheng Yu jumped on the bed while his mobile phone was charging. As a result, the half cup of water that was not finished last night on the table next to him was directly shaken onto the socket board on the bed. Cheng Yu was electrocuted and died immediately. Chapter 2. On this uninhabited primitive planet, Cheng Yu has built a cabin with his own ability. He hunts and lives with his own strength, and wears the gravity suit rewarded by the system every day to practice slowly. Cheng Yu's combat power is gradually increasing under this situation. On this day, Cheng Yu suddenly asked, "System, will my cyan blood turn into a giant ape and lose my mind? And explain the unlimited potential you mentioned before to me slowly." Ding, the cyan blood given by the system is the purest cyan blood, which will not go out of control or lose my mind. Of course, there is not much difference between others and ordinary cyans. Unlimited potential means that the host has no bottleneck in practice and can grow infinitely. Cheng Yu smiled again after listening to the system's explanation. As long as you are willing to work hard, isn't it easy to surpass any protagonist group? Hey, system, which one has better potential than Vegeta and Gogeta? Ding, are you doubting this system? Gogeta and Vegeta definitely don't have as much potential as the host. Don't question the system. Cheng Yu listened to the explanation and thought about the growth of the protagonist's combat power. In the early stage, no one could beat them, and everyone would get hurt. In the later stage, no one could beat them, and everyone could fight for several rounds. Moreover, the combat power and transformation were really far apart, which was simply insane. But Cheng Yu didn't care about it after all, as long as he could protect himself. Another long day passed, and Cheng Yu lay down directly on the spot after eating meat in the yard at night. Looking at the stars in the sky, he couldn't help but sigh. If I can live happily and easily all the time, it will be worth it. Suddenly, Cheng Yu seemed to think of something, and said in a tone of voice, "System, it seems that a month has passed, please sign in." Ding, congratulations to the host for signing in and getting Senzu Beans X30, congratulations to the host for getting the skill Death Beam, congratulations to the host for getting the skill Gaki Cannon, and congratulations to the host for getting Combat Power X30,000. Cheng Yu listened to the rewards given by the system without saying much. After all, it was said at the beginning that the longer the time interval, the richer the reward. Now it has only been a month, and Raditz is probably not on Earth yet. System, is there a panel to open for me to see? Name, Cheng Yu. Combat Power, 100,000. Transformation, none. Items, Gravity Training Suit, already worn, Martial Arts Suit, Senzu Beans X30. Skills, Kamehameha, Gaki Cannon, Death Beam. Looking at his combat power of more than 100,000, Cheng Yu also sighed. This combat power is more than enough to fight Raditz and Vegeta. If he encounters Frieza, he will be a direct delivery. It is not even as powerful as the Jinya Force. Cheng Yu thought that if his combat power was put into real life, he could easily destroy the solar system. But in Dragon Ball, who can't explode stars at will? When Cheng Yu was still living on this desolate planet, what was our protagonist doing? Goku and Chi-Chi were sleeping at home, Bulma was doing scientific research. Krillin was resting on the island of Master Roshi. Everyone has his own life. The second generation produced by Piccolo through laying eggs some time ago was meditating in a suburb of the Earth. He thought that he would defeat Son Goku one day. Chapter 3. Sunrise and sunset, wind and rain, time passed day by day. Our protagonist has been on this uninhabited planet for half a year. His fighting power has also skyrocketed under his own training. Ah! I'm going crazy. When can I eat delicious food, when can I leave this broken place? Cheng Yu's spirit has gone from excitement at the beginning to numbness and now on the verge of collapse. If a person stays here with a bad mentality, he may really become mentally ill. Fortunately, Cheng Yu has adapted to life here after all, and he is not a child after all. Although life is dull, Cheng Yu can adapt to it. I say, system, this TM protagonist group should have fucked Raditz to death. How long do I have to stay? Ding, please wait quietly. If someone makes an emergency landing or comes here for an investigation, you can leave. Cheng Yu smiled directly on his face after hearing this, and he was screaming in his heart. If he could catch the system, he would torture him in all kinds of ways. System, then sign in. It's been so long, you can at least give me some seasoning or food. Perhaps the system heard the host's needs, and the next reward given to Cheng Yugan was silent. Congratulations to the host for signing in and getting an iron pot, a set of bowls and chopsticks, a bottle of delicious soy sauce, a bag of iodized salt, a box of sparkling cola, 12 bottles. Congratulations to the host for the skill plant ripening technique, congratulations to the host for the skill Kaioken, congratulations to the host for getting Senzu Beans x180, combat power x200,000 points. Cheng Yu is now on the verge of exploding. If he can't control it well, he and the system may even die together. If Cheng Yu hadn't heard the combat power reward later, he could have really achieved such a result. At this time, the system stopped talking, and Cheng Yu immediately started to curse. I haven't signed in for half a year. And you give me these things? You are an asshole, go to hell. Ding, aren't these things all useful to the host? And the host should not insult the system, otherwise all rewards will be taken back. Cheng Yu was immediately paralyzed when he heard about the reward being taken back. Without saying anything more, he put the pot and condiments in the self-built wooden house and walked out. Cheng Yu flew directly to the other side of the planet and began to adapt to his combat power that had skyrocketed because of signing in. In fact, Cheng Yu destroyed the surrounding environment because of his cultivation. He came to the other side of the planet because he was afraid that his home would be gone. After Cheng Yu had adapted, Cheng Yu also called his system to see how much combat power he had now. Name, Cheng Yu. Bloodline, Cyan. Combat power, 3 million points. Items, 183 Senzu Beans, Gravity Suit, Martial Arts Suit. Skills, Ripening Technique, Kamehameha, Geikri Cannon, Death Beam. It's 3 million now. In the original book, this combat power was transformed through anger. I should be able to do it too. I want to give it a try. Cheng Yu thought about it and recalled the infuriating things in his memory. Thinking about being exploited by the boss at work, being excluded by colleagues, and being humiliated by others, Cheng Yu's emotions broke out at this moment. Ah! Cheng Yu stood on the ground with his hands clenched. As his emotions broke out, Cheng Yu gradually concentrated his strength on his back and tail. After Cheng Yu shouted, his pupils and eyebrows kept switching between gold and black, and his hair kept changing between black and gold. Cheng Yu thought about the lonely life on this planet, the garbage sign-in of the broken system, and the helplessness of his previous life. Finally, at this moment, the sky was filled with strong winds and lightning. Cheng Yu's emotions finally exploded at this moment. Cheng Yu's breath was in the sky. His hair, pupils, and eyebrows turned golden, his eyes became sharper, and he stared forward expressionlessly, with a golden aura around him. As the natural scene faded away, Cheng Yu also looked down at his hands. Although he still had no expression on his face, he was so excited that he was about to jump up. Chapter 4. Another half year has passed, and Cheng Yu lives his own little life on this desolate planet. Although it is plain, he is not very lonely. Cheng Yu was originally very mentally collapsed, but he remembered that the pressure of his previous life was too good to compare with his current plain life. In addition to practicing and hunting every day, he can occasionally see various natural wonders and the starry sky on the planet. Because of boredom, Cheng Yu even tried to capture small animals on the planet, but wild animals are ferocious by nature, so Cheng Yu's plan also came to nothing. But later, these animals that failed in the attempt have become dishes. Cheng Yu has now completely stabilized Super Saiyan 1 and has developed Super Saiyan 1 to full power. The consumption and burden of Super Saiyan 1 at full power are very balanced. However, the Earth is very unstable at this time. Raditz captured Son Gohan, but was defeated by the joint efforts of Piccolo and Son Goku, and Son Goku also went to the North Kai King God planet to practice. System, has the plot reached the point where Vegeta has arrived on Earth? Cheng Yu sat next to his cabin and asked his system. Ding, it is estimated that Vegeta will arrive on Earth in a month, and he is currently in the spaceship. And it will be about 3 months before Frieza. Cheng Yu recalled the Dragon Ball anime he watched and thought that it would be very nice if he could appear when Frieza defeated the protagonists. But now on this broken planet, I can't even see Son Goku's first transformation into a Super Saiyan. That is the strongest side that makes other anime pale in comparison. Cheng Yu finally sighed, maybe someone with a destiny will find him in the future? Maybe some life will find this planet in the future? Maybe I can beat the protagonists when I appear? Cheng Yu didn't know this either, but for now, there was something more important. Cheng Yu said. System, it's another half year. Give me some good rewards. It's best if I can soar to the sky, or be invincible in the world. Ding, host, you want to eat shit. Congratulations to the host for signing in and getting combat power x 500 million, congratulations to the host for getting a portable gravity room, and congratulations to the host for getting the new Qigong cannon skill. Cheng Yu's face darkened when he heard the rewards given by the system and said. What can I say about this reward? It's useless to eat it, but it's a pity to throw it away. Chicken ribs. Very chicken ribs. But it's better than nothing, and it's a good thing to improve combat power. By the way, system, open the panel and see how much my combat power has increased. I feel like I should be very strong now. Name, Cheng Yu. Bloodline, Saiyan. Combat power, 600 million. Items, 1 set of gravity training suit, 1 gravity room, 1 set of martial arts suit, 60 senzu beans. Looking at the 600 million combat power, Cheng Yu relied on his calculation talent and thought that Frieza's 5th form transformation was only a little over 100 million, and he could beat him normally. Not to mention the 50-fold increase of Super Saiyan 1, which is 30 billion. It can be said that he can be destroyed with a wave of his hand. It seems that the fighting power during Cell's period was not very high. I can beat Cell even after I transformed into Super Saiyan 1, it's so terrifying. Cheng Yu was also recalling the plot in the Dragon Ball anime, thinking that although the official did not give a specific value, the 100-fold increase of Super Saiyan 2 could destroy Cell, but his normal power was high after all, and he could fight after transforming into Super Saiyan 1. Chapter 5. Another few months passed quickly. Cheng Yuming lived and trained comfortably on the planet Tomorrow. With the gravity suit and gravity room, his combat power increased rapidly. And the people on Earth were really anxious. They had just defeated Vegeta, and now there was another Cosmic Emperor Frieza on Namek. It was really tragic. Except for Son Goku, who was still on the way to Namek, the rest of the Z warriors had already arrived on Namek. At this time, Piccolo had just assimilated Niru, and his combat power had surged. On the other side, Cheng Yu was still sweating profusely in the gravity room. Because there were no entertainment activities, he could only kill time by training. Sign into the system, God bless you, and the Lord of Heaven will show up soon. Bless me to sign in for teleportation and spaceships. Please. Cheng Yu was lying in the gravity room, thinking about himself. Ding, congratulations to the host for signing in and getting the Earth Unlimited Black Card. Congratulations to the host for signing in for Primary Instant Movement, congratulations to the host for signing in for Senzu X30, congratulations to the host for signing in for Combat Power X 500 million. Cheng Yu almost cried when he heard the rewards announced by the system. If there was a speaker at this time, Cheng Yu would definitely sing a good day song. I've waited for a long time and finally waited until today. After I adapt to the combat power, I will go to meet the protagonist group. Finally, I finally waited. Wait, there is also a black card with unlimited Earth credit. WC, black card. Cheng Yu said to himself, thinking of the hard life of office workers in his previous life, and the troubles caused by money for ordinary people. Now it doesn't exist at all. It's simply heaven now. Cheng Yu stood up and took out a senzu bean from the system space and swallowed it. The fatigue of the body was swept away immediately, and the sudden surge in combat power still needed to adapt. After completion, he could go to Earth. By the way, system, what is the current status of the protagonist group? I can't find their breath at all now. Cheng Yu was going to determine the location of the Z fighters first, but he couldn't find them at all. Ding, the primary teleportation cannot be carried out without finding the opponent's breath. The protagonist group is currently on the planet Namek, and Son Goku is still on the way. Cheng Yu carefully recalled the development of the plot, and he remembered a very important thing. By the way, when Gaku transformed into a Super Saiyan, his breath was very strong, and he should be able to find it at that time. At that time, I can not only confirm their location, but also move directly to them. Now, after another day of devilish training, Cheng Yu not only perfectly adapted to his own skyrocketing combat power, but also put away the gravity and gravity suit and changed into a light martial arts suit. After the current training, Cheng Yu has completely developed and adapted to the transformation of Super Saiyan 1. The next step should be to break through the next transformation, but Cheng Yu can't do it, so it's nothing. Cheng Yu decided to burst out all his energy to see if his fighting power could forcefully break through the next transformation. Cheng Yu came to the back of the planet again. Cheng Yu released all his normal energy, and the forest around him had been blown away, and the ground collapsed directly under Cheng Yu's feet into a large pit. At this time, Cheng Yu took back all his energy and gathered it on his tail and back. With a flash of lightning in the sky, a strong wind blew around him. A layer of golden light flashed around Cheng Yu, and he successfully transformed into a Super Saiyan with full power. Cheng Yu released all his energy, and the energy directly caused no grass left in a radius of 10 miles. And this wave of the back of the planet collapsed directly. The Kai King Shin, who was far away on the Kai King Shin planet, also noticed this energy and observed it. Chapter 6. At this time, Cheng Yu lifted his transformation and returned to his cabin. Because of the energy that just exploded, many people should have noticed him. That breath can be said to have spread throughout the northern Milky Way managed by King Kai of the North. Even Frisia on Namek felt it. The breath just now was very strong. He is a very strong person. We can recruit him. Frisia's army lacks such people. Our President Frisia always has strange ideas. Others are afraid of this breath, but he himself wants to recruit and even conquer such a person. And Son Goku discovered this breath as soon as he arrived on Namek, because it spread too widely in the universe. Wow, such a strong breath! It turns out that there are many powerful people in the universe. I must learn from him. The protagonist is worthy of being the protagonist, a fighting maniac. The brain circuit is extremely strange. At this time, Son Goku and Krillin also met. Wow, so tenacious! A short man sat on a baby carriage-like aircraft. This is our cosmic emperor Frisia. The legions he sent out were all destroyed by Vegeta and the Earth Warriors. At this time, Frisia also learned from his mistakes and sent out his ace Jinya force. And our protagonist is worthy of being the protagonist. After their own efforts, they still destroyed the Jinya force. The worst is the captain of the Jinya force, Cheng Yu, who turned into a little frog. Frisia, who exchanged bodies, looked at Son Goku in front of him, and his heart was full of anger and unwillingness. He didn't expect that this seemingly ordinary Saiyan was so powerful that he not only defeated his men, but also destroyed his plan. Frisia gritted his teeth and said, Son Goku, you hateful guy. Today I will let you know who is the real overlord of the universe. As he said, he exuded a powerful aura all over his body, ready to use his tricks. Son Goku was not afraid at all. His eyes were bright and there was a confident smile on the corners of his mouth. He knew that this battle would be very difficult, but he also believed in his own strength. The two rushed towards each other at the same time and started a fierce duel. Their fists collided with each other, making a deafening sound. The whole Namek was shaking. The battle between Son Goku and Frisia entered a white-hot stage, and both sides refused to give in. Suddenly, Frisia used his ultimate move, the Death Beam, and a powerful energy wave attacked Son Goku. Son Goku dodged sideways and then counterattacked. He gathered all his strength and launched the King Fist, punching Frisia in the stomach. Frisia covered his stomach in pain and took a few steps back. But he did not give up, and immediately adjusted his state and attacked again. However, Son Goku had found Frisia's flaw at this time. He quickly rushed forward and kicked Frisia's chin, knocking him away. Frisia fell heavily to the ground, spitting blood from his mouth. He struggled to stand up, with despair and fear in his eyes. Son Goku walked up to him and looked at him quietly. You lost, Frisia. Son Goku said calmly. Frisia couldn't accept this fact. He widened his eyes and glared at Son Goku. But he was no longer able to fight and could only lower his head silently. Son Goku turned and left, leaving Frisia defeated. The fierce battle finally came to an end. But Frisia flew into the air and said, "Ho ho ho, you Saiyan monkeys are really annoying. It seems that I have to destroy you all. Show you my transformation." Frisia directly transformed into the first system, then transformed into the second form, and then the third form. Final form, you are the first to see me like this. In addition, let me tell you that my basic combat power is 530,000. It should have exceeded 100 million now. Chapter 7. The battle between Son Goku and Frisia entered a white-hot stage. Both sides refused to give in and used their own special moves. But Frisia was too powerful. It can be said that he killed Son Goku in seconds. "Ho ho ho, you damn Saiyan monkeys, just watch!" Frisia said and shot a death beam directly at Krillin, who was lying on the ground next to him. Son Goku hurried over and watched Krillin fall into his arms. Son Goku stood up and remembered the scenes on Earth, the training they experienced together, and the time they lived together. Son Goku's mind gradually became angry. Finally, when Son Goku's breath reached the peak, Son Goku broke through himself, and the wind was strong and thunder and lightning were on Namek. Son Goku's hair turned golden, and his eyebrows and pupils changed to golden. "Frisia! I will never get around you, never get around you." Son Goku turned into a Super Saiyan, emitting golden light all over his body, and his power continued to rise. He rushed towards Frisia, punching one after another, as fast as lightning. Frisia was not to be outdone. He spread his wings and released a powerful energy wave, trying to resist Son Goku's attack. The two fought back and forth, and it was hard to tell who was better. The entire battlefield was shrouded in their aura, and the surrounding buildings collapsed one after another. In the end, Son Goku seized Frisia's flaw and kicked him away. Frisia fell heavily to the ground, spitting blood. Son Goku took advantage of the victory and was ready to give Frisia the final blow. At this moment, a mysterious light fell from the sky, covering Son Goku and Frisia at the same time. Frisia took this opportunity to shoot a death beam at Son Goku and the protagonist group by surprise. The protagonist group was knocked to the ground by this death beam. And Son Goku also covered his chest and recovered to normal, looking at Frisia breathlessly. Son Goku and Vegeta fell in a pool of blood, watching Krillin being killed by Frisia. Frisia laughed wildly, enjoying the joy of victory. At this moment, a mysterious light fell from the sky. A man in strange clothes walked out of the light, exuding an awe-inspiring aura. "Who are you?" Frisia asked vigilantly. "I am a warrior from the universe, and I am here to deal with you, the villain." The man shouted angrily. Frisia disdainfully attacked the man with all his strength. However, the man easily dodged Frisia's attack and fought back with even greater force. A fierce battle unfolded, and the man showed amazing strength and gradually suppressed Frisia. In the end, the man used a powerful Kamehameha wave to directly knock Frisia out of the atmosphere and fly into the universe to explode. After this wave of Kamehameha exploded in the universe, Frisia completely disappeared. It can be said that Frisia was completely defeated. Due to the impact of the battle, the core of the planet could no longer bear it, and the man asked, "Can the Dragon Ball still be used? Make a wish to restore the planet." Because the battle started too early, the wish of the Dragon Ball was not used in time before Frisia came, and Cheng Yu came too quickly and directly destroyed Frisia. So the man fed them a senzu bean, and they immediately made a wish to restore the planet after they recovered. The second wish was to revive Krillin, and the third wish was to revive Piccolo. After making the wish, the Namekians all looked at their homes after the disaster. "Hey, who are you?" Vegeta has been watching the man from the side since he recovered, and has been observing him. The man did not speak, but smiled. Suddenly, the clothes behind the man moved, and then a brown tail was revealed. You are a Saiyan?" "No, there should be no Saiyans alive except us." "Who are you?" Vegeta got angry when he saw his tail and shouted loudly. "Hey, useless prince, don't use your identity as a Saiyan prince to pressure me, I don't buy that. As for me, I was exiled. I was exiled because my fighting power was too low at birth, so I didn't even know my own name. I named myself Cheng Yu." Cheng Yu not only confronted Vegeta, but also began to make up his own origins. One day, Vegeta got angry when others mocked him. No one could break his pride as a Saiyan prince. So he immediately rushed towards Cheng Yu. Seeing this, Cheng Yu opened his breath, closed his eyes and turned into a Super Saiyan, then opened his eyes and looked at Vegeta, who was coming towards him, and kicked him away. Chapter 8. What's the matter? What's the matter? Vegeta is just a little reckless. Can you also transform into a Super Saiyan? Son Goku came over and asked after seeing Vegeta being kicked and smashed into the mountain next to him. Yes, I am also a Saiyan. In fact, all Saiyans can transform into Super Saiyans through training and life to increase the number of S cells in their bodies to a certain extent, because it is just a transformation. Cheng Yu also explained and cancelled his transformation to return to normal. Vegeta, who was buried in the mountain, also heard this and flew over again, but he did not continue to attack Cheng Yu, but asked, "Is everything you said true?" Cheng Yu was not angry at this time, but slowly explained, "I was talking about the transformation of Saiyans. As long as the basic combat power is sufficient and the S cells are sufficient, they can easily transform. I also know some Saiyan deeds that you don't know." "Wow, you are so powerful, can you spar with me? Please." Son Goku, who is aggressive by nature, seemed to be ignited when he caught a glimpse of the powerful man, and instantly ignited a raging desire to fight. He stared at the other party with wide eyes, his eyes like torches, and all the muscles in his body were tense, as if ready to burst out amazing power at any time. On the other side, Cheng Yu nodded slightly, indicating his agreement to the upcoming duel. He flashed and flew to a distant wilderness like an arrow. Seeing this, Son Goku naturally refused to be outdone. He tapped the ground with his toes and followed Cheng Yu's figure. After a while, the two came to this empty suburb. They stood at a distance, staring at each other, and sparks seemed to fly where their eyes met. At this time, the air was filled with a tense atmosphere, and a thrilling battle was about to break out. Cheng Yu took a deep breath, slowly raised his hands, and made a unique starting posture. His movements were smooth and flowing, seemingly slow but containing endless power and mystery. At the same time, Son Goku also adjusted his state, clenched his fists in his hands, and waited for his opponent's attack with full concentration. Son Goku shouted loudly, rushing towards Cheng Yu like a burning meteor. Cheng Yu did not retreat, and faced Son Goku's attack head-on. The two sides fought hand to hand, fists and palms hit each other, and a huge energy fluctuation broke out. Their fighting skills and strength were amazing. Every confrontation was like lightning, causing the surrounding space to tremble. Son Goku became more and more courageous, constantly using various tricks to try to break through Cheng Yu's defense, while Cheng Yu used flexible body movements and superb skills to resolve them one by one, and his defense was impeccable. The battle entered a white-hot stage, and both sides refused to give in, looking for each other's flaws. At this moment, Cheng Yu seized a lapse of Son Goku and launched a counter-attack, hitting Son Goku in the abdomen with a punch. Son Goku groaned and took a few steps back, but he immediately stabilized his body and rushed towards Cheng Yu again. Son Goku felt the power of Cheng Yu's fist, and he knew that he had met a real opponent. He decided to use all his strength to show the true strength of the Super Saiyan. Son Goku gathered all the energy in his body, his hair gradually turned golden, and a strong light shone around him. His eyes were full of fighting spirit, as if he wanted to burn the entire universe. Cheng Yu was secretly shocked by Son Goku's change. But he did not retreat, but concentrated his energy and prepared to meet Son Goku's powerful attack. Son Goku rushed towards Cheng Yu at supersonic speed, and his fist hit Cheng Yu fiercely with the power of destroying the world. Cheng Yu dodged sideways and then kicked Son Goku's waist. The two fought back and forth, and it was hard to tell. Everyone watching the battle was shocked. How will this peak duel end? The fierce battle between Cheng Yu and Son Goku continued, and their figures were as fast as lightning, dazzling people. Suddenly, Cheng Yu found a flaw in Son Goku. He quickly took action and knocked Son Goku to the ground. After Son Goku fell to the ground, Cheng Yu did not pursue the victory, but looked at him quietly. Son Goku slowly stood up, and his eyes revealed a trace of admiration. "You are very powerful, I lost," Son Goku said. Cheng Yu smiled and nodded. He knew that this battle was won. "You are very powerful. I lost," Son Goku said. Cheng Yu smiled and nodded. He knew that he won this battle, and he had not transformed yet. In fact, Cheng Yu appeared here because Son Goku's breath of transforming into a Super Saiyan at that moment was captured by Cheng Yu, and then he moved here instantly. So defeating Frisia was purely to participate in the plot and the protagonist group just getting acquainted with them, after all, they are my childhood idols. Chapter 9. With the introduction and mutual understanding of Son Goku and others, everyone also knew how Cheng Yu came here. Son Goku kept asking Cheng Yu to go to Earth. Okay, I originally lived on a deserted planet, I will go to Earth with you. Although Cheng Yu looked reluctant, he was actually very happy. Son Goku thought that there would be someone who could learn from him at any time and help him become stronger. Isn't this a tool man? Everyone was also ready to go back to Earth because the matter was almost resolved, and on the other side, Vegeta stood and watched them. Hey, Vegeta, do you want to go back to Earth with us? Anyway, there is no Vegeta planet. And Frisia is gone, where else can you go? Cheng Yu also said to Vegeta. Damn it! Let's go. Although Vegeta didn't want to admit it, now that two of his men were gone, even the Frisia army itself had rebelled, he really had nowhere to go. After everyone greeted the people on Namek, they boarded the spaceship and prepared to go back. Cheng Yu, who was lying in his room, heard a voice at this time. Ding, congratulations to the host for participating in the plot of the protagonist group, the system has begun to upgrade. After that, there was no sound. Although Cheng Yu could not hear the sound, he was still very much looking forward to it. After all, the system was with him for such a period of time. During this period of time, because he had to stay in the spaceship for a long time, Son Goku pulled Cheng Yu and Vegeta to train every day. Vegeta was training in sweat all the time, and Cheng Yu began to teach Son Goku to teleport in order to stop Son Goku from bothering him. Vegeta listened and learned with Son Goku at first. But later, Vegeta really couldn't learn it, so he simply stopped learning and continued to stay in the gravity room every day. Cheng Yu taught Son Goku and let him practice by himself. Wouldn't it be nice to lie in the room and rest? However, unexpectedly, when Bulma first met Cheng Yu on Namek, she instantly fell into a state of infatuation. This reaction is really surprising. Moreover, when she heard that Cheng Yu had strong strength, she became even more obsessed. On the spaceship, Bulma always looks for various opportunities to communicate and chat with Cheng Yu. However, our Cheng Yu actually doesn't want to get involved in the development of the protagonist group's plot in his heart. He always maintains a firm attitude, as if to declare to the outside world, I am an out-and-out steel straight man. I don't understand your mind at all. In this way, Cheng Yu faced Bulma's enthusiasm with such an indifferent look. However, as time went on, Bulma's intentional and unintentional contact made Cheng Yu feel more and more unbearable. Finally, he decided to take action to get rid of this trouble. So Cheng Yu deliberately made up an excuse, claiming that he needed to devote himself to practice. Then, he began to deliberately avoid Bulma, choosing to stay in the gravity room with Vegeta, trying to forget all these troubles by focusing on training. It has to be said that Bulma is still very beautiful as the childhood goddess of many people, but Cheng Yu is not from this world after all, so he doesn't want to have too much communication. Because Cheng Yu is not sure whether his arrival will cause anything to happen. Of course, the main reason for avoiding Bulma is that Cheng Yu has never been in a relationship, so he is very shy and timid when facing Bulma, but Cheng Yu doesn't want to admit it and is afraid of losing his composure, so he hides in the gravity room. Chapter 10. Our protagonists finally arrived on Earth after a month of sailing. Cheng Yu was already amazed at the cities on Earth as soon as he got off the spaceship. It's so advanced. The technology is so advanced. By the way, Cheng Yu, if you don't have a place to live, just go to my house. My house is bigger. Bulma came over and said. Forget it, I'll find a job and live an ordinary life. If you have any problems, you can find me as long as you can feel my breath. I'm still used to being alone. Cheng Yu also smiled and covered for himself. Because he really couldn't live with Bulma in her house. Otherwise, with her crazy look, he was really afraid that something would happen one day. Wow, why do you like being alone? Isn't it good to have a partner? Son Goku, the fool, asked. Cheng Yu smiled after hearing this, and recalled his past life and his life in this world, and explained, saying, I am an exiled scion, and I have been alone since I was a baby, so I have been living and training alone on a deserted planet. I have never been with other people, so I want to live alone and integrate into the life of Earthlings. I won't bother you anymore. Even Piccolo was shocked at this time, but he recalled Vegeta and other Saiyans, looked at Son Goku, and asked. Why is your personality different from that of other Saiyans? I remember Vegeta's companions are all very violent and irritable. Son Goku must have had his head broken when he was a child. I heard Son Goku tell me this. As for me, there are actually very kind people among the Saiyans, but they are only like this under the rule of King Vegeta. This is why I couldn't stand Vegeta's appearance on planet Namek. By the way, and Vegeta has always been under Frisia's command, but it was Frisia who destroyed his hometown. As a result, I didn't know where to go when I wanted to go back to see my parents. This is probably why I have been living alone on a desolate planet. After saying this, Cheng Yu thought about it and explained. At this time, several people were trapped in their own thoughts. And our Prince Vegeta immediately stood up and yelled. What do you know? You, a low-level soldier, don't know anything at all. Cheng Yu laughed when he heard this. Not only was he not angry, but he whispered softly. Really? Son Goku and I are both low-level soldiers and have surpassed the so-called Saiyan Prince by our own efforts. Doesn't that prove that you, the Saiyan Prince and the so-called King Vegeta, are incompetent? You are welcome to challenge me at any time, otherwise I will never forgive you. By the way, do you want to know how I, a baby, survived in the mouths of those monsters? I don't think you can understand. And I didn't even see my own parents. At least I dared to rely on my own practice to resist the strong, and you are just soft, weak, incompetent. A person without courage, without a bit of compassion, a person without emotion. After saying that, Cheng Yu flew away immediately without caring about Vegeta's reaction. In fact, it was not that Cheng Yu was too emotional, but that he couldn't hold back his smile. Who knows how he couldn't help saying these words? Cheng Yu actually likes Vegeta, but it is still the early stage of the anime. If he is not stimulated, he will not work hard. Cheng Yu knows this very well, so he adds fuel to the fire. Oh, don't take it to heart, Vegeta. By the way, you can also experience human life. Cheng Yu may be too emotional. Son Goku stood up and comforted him with his own words. Hey, Vegeta, as long as you don't destroy the earth and kill people, we can get along well, but if you do anything out of line, we will not let you go. Pico also came out to warn him at the right time, because he was not sure about Vegeta's character. After all, they had a fight on Earth. Vegeta just came back to his senses at this time, but he couldn't let go of his damn self-esteem, so he angrily said. I know. And, I will definitely surpass you. Wait. Vegeta also flew away. RZ warrior group looked at each other and went back to their own homes. Chapter 11. After several days, Cheng Yu began to purchase and collect items with his own magic card with unlimited quota given by the system sign-in. He not only bought a magnificent villa on the seaside in the suburbs, but also a huge garden. Cheng Yu devoted endless efforts to decorate his residence and made it beautiful. He carefully selected many exquisite decorations and placed those things that made him fascinated in every corner of the house. As for the front yard, he planted colorful flowers by himself, just because Cheng Yu himself has a special liking for the fragrant fragrance of flowers. Every beautiful flower seems to be a precious gift given by nature to this land, exuding a charming breath, which makes people feel relaxed and happy. When the breeze blows gently, the petals sway like dancing fairies, blending with the surrounding environment, forming a beautiful picture like a dream. Being in it, it seems that you can forget all the troubles in the world and immerse yourself in this peaceful and harmonious atmosphere. Cheng Yu has a very high pursuit and determination to improve his own strength. He knows that if he wants to become a top powerhouse, he must make double efforts and sweat. So, in his spacious, bright, and exquisitely decorated house, he deliberately vacated an extremely large room and carefully made it into an exclusive training place, a precious gravity room obtained by signing in the system. This mysterious and powerful device has undoubtedly become the best companion for Cheng Yu's hard work and daily practice. Whenever the first ray of sunlight shines into the window in the morning, Cheng Yu will step into this gravity room full of technology and futuristic atmosphere on time. Here, time seems to be frozen, and the hustle and bustle of the outside world are isolated. He devoted himself to training, feeling the huge pressure brought by the gradually increasing gravity. Every breath became heavy and difficult, but this did not make him retreat half a step. On the contrary, Cheng Yu relied on his tenacious will and indomitable spirit to constantly challenge his own limits and break through many difficulties. With day-to-day exercise, Cheng Yu's physical fitness has been rapidly improved. The goal that seemed out of reach is now gradually within reach, and all this is inseparable from the gravity room standing quietly in the corner and the system sign and reward behind it that represents endless possibilities. It is precisely because of such unique conditions and resource support that Cheng Yu can make great strides on the road of growth and move forward bravely towards the peak in his heart. During this period, Cheng Yu finally lived an ordinary life, training and resting at the same time. Since he trained crazily for his own strength on the barren planet, he is not used to lying down every day without training. On this day, the night just came, Cheng Yu was lying in the garden planted in the front yard looking at the starry sky and sighed. Alas, I have been in this world for a long time, but I always don't have the happiness of my previous life. Is it true that I don't have a sense of belonging? While Cheng Yu was still thinking, a voice that surprised him appeared in his mind. Ding, your system has been updated. Old Biden, I've been waiting for a long time. Welcome to your brand new system. Cheng Yu was originally quite surprised, but he was stunned when he heard the voice. What is this? His face turned black in an instant, and he cursed. What is this? Your broken system. Really, please introduce what has been updated in your broken system. Ding, this system is a brand new upgrade. This sign-in upgrade is for choosing to sign in. That is, the things signed in will be given a choice, you can choose by yourself. Of course, the choices are good and bad, and the rest remain unchanged. MD, I thought it was so awesome. That's it? I thought you were really going to open a big one, but in fact you pulled it out for me? Cheng Yu asked with a black line on his face, and he was also very speechless. By the way, a new reward is the lottery function, which will issue the number of lottery draws based on the two opponents you defeat. The things in the lottery are good and bad. Of course, the opponent will definitely not be the same person, or according to the tasks issued by the system. Cheng Yu fell into deep thought after listening to the system's words. Suddenly, Cheng Yu remembered that the final right of interpretation in the previous life belonged to the company. Isn't this a truth? But Cheng Yu still studied it with great interest. That's right, it was exactly the same pattern as the black-hearted businessman's words. It's amazing. But some of the rewards are also very good, such as Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ease, and even Super Saiyan 4. Of course, the bad things are really rubbish, even ordinary underwear, and thank you for your patronage. It's amazing, damn capital, damn system. Chapter 12. Ordinary life is spent like this day by day. Although Cheng Yu's days are ordinary, they are very peaceful and serene. There are no disturbances, no intrigues, and no pressure on life. It can be said that such days are what many people want. Although Cheng Yu lives an ordinary life, he still habitually continues tomorrow's training. Not only for self-protection, but also to deal with future crises. During this period, Son Goku also came to Cheng Yu, and Cheng Yu was of course happy to welcome him, but Cheng Yu's advice to Son Goku was to learn teleportation before considering other things. Because of Cheng Yu's arrival, the original plot of going to Yadrit planet has not been done. So it is better to let Son Goku learn this. Of course, because of Cheng Yu's teaching and analysis, Son Goku's talent is very high, and he has learned it in about half a year. It takes about a year to learn it in the original plot. And the reason why Cheng Yu did not go out to spar and fight and tried his best to restrain his desire to fight is of course for a reason. Because in the original plot of the animation, there is a crazy scientist who uses several people's cells to create cell. If Cheng Yu's cells interfered with the time process, there would be no Son Gohan's explosion, and the appearance of number 18 and number 17. Of course, as an ordinary person, Cheng Yu's selfishness is just to find the two sisters and find a sparring partner. Otherwise, it would be too boring to stay at home all day. This day, Cheng Yu took a shower and lay on the bed as usual, thinking about what to do next and how to integrate into the plot. The most important thing is that Cheng Yu also wants to fight with Cell and go to the future world of Trunks. System, sign in for me. By the way, won't you give me a few free draws for the lottery? Cheng Yu also had a sudden thought and remembered that he had not signed in yet. Since the system was updated, he had not used it. Ding, congratulations to the host for choosing sign in 1. Combat Power x 1 billion, Senzu Beans x 50. Choose sign in 2. Super Saiyan 2 Transformation, Clone Technique. Can transform into 2 clones, each clone has only 50% of the original body's energy. Cheng Yu thought that he hadn't made a breakthrough for so long, and his combat power should be enough. It's so high, but there's no sign of a bottleneck. It's hard to deal with. Give me the second choice. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the choice. Congratulations to the host for using the new system for the first time. Hereby reward the host with 5 free draws. System, come on, look at my gambling god limit, draw 5 times for me. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting thank you for your patronage. Congratulations to the host for getting thank you for your patronage. Congratulations to the host for getting thank you for your patronage. Congratulations to the host for getting a set of Bulma's original pajamas. Congratulations to the host for getting a combat power doubling card. After using it, combat power is doubled in basic combat power. Wow, you black-hearted system, I did accept the last one, the others, you are really, simply. At the same time, Bulma finished her bath in the bathroom at home, got up and prepared to change into pajamas, but she looked in the bathroom for a long time and couldn't find it, so she was suspecting that she was perverted. By the way, the person who stole the tower's clothes cursed and swore. Cheng Yu sneezed, thinking. It shouldn't be, will I catch a cold in this body? Is someone thinking about me? After thinking about the people Cheng Yu knew, he got no result, so he just pulled out his pajamas, and used his fingertips to gather qigong waves to blast the pajamas into pieces. Cheng Yu looked at the time, it was night, so he put on his martial arts uniform again, flew out of the house, and found a place to see the transformation of Super Saiyan 2. Cheng Yu flew on the earth for a long time, but there was no place he was satisfied with, so Cheng Yu thought about finding an island to experiment. After landing on the island, Cheng Yu didn't waste any words, and exploded his chi to transform into Super Saiyan 1. Of course, in order not to disturb others, he still held back and didn't explode completely. Then, Cheng Yu took a deep breath and gathered all the powerful breath of Super Saiyan 1 into his body. Then, he concentrated his energy and continuously gathered this terrifying power to the thick and powerful tail behind him. At this moment, Cheng Yu clenched his hands into fists, his arm muscles were tense, and his veins were bulging, as if he contained endless power. And in the next moment, accompanied by a thunderous roar, he suddenly released all his strength without reservation. In an instant, a dazzling light suddenly burst out, as bright as the sun. At the same time, a surging energy the storm swept around with Cheng Yu as the center. Wherever it passed, the void trembled and the wind and clouds changed color. In this shocking scene, Cheng Yu's hair seemed to be pulled by an invisible force, standing up straight like a steel needle. A layer of thick golden airwaves surrounded his body, and from time to time there were flashes of heart-pounding golden lightning. Not only that, even his hair, pupils, and eyebrows were shining with brilliant golden light, making him look like a god of war, majestic and incomparable. However, compared with before, Cheng Yu at this time was not only changed in appearance, but more importantly, he exuded an unprecedented confidence and solemnity. This temperament seemed to be born with it, and it seemed to be calm and composed after countless life and death tests. At this moment, he was the most powerful existence in this world, and no one could compete with him. Cheng Yu also hurriedly gathered his breath, so as not to be known and discovered by others. But the breath that just burst out at that moment has been sensed by many people. Piccolo of the Temple of Heaven suddenly opened his eyes and looked at the sea while meditating. Son Goku turned over and got up from the bed and looked outside with a serious face. Vegeta, who lived in Bulma's house, was also awakened by this breath. But Cheng Yu suddenly gathered his breath, so they could not sense it. They only knew that there was a familiar and very powerful breath on the earth. Cheng Yu took a deep breath, and then slowly gathered the surging breath in his body. With his movements, the golden air waves that had been rolling around his body like waves gradually calmed down, as if smoothed by an invisible big hand, and finally disappeared without a trace. However, although the golden air waves had dissipated, there were still faint electric lights flashing around his body. These lightnings were like tiny silver snakes cruising in the air, making crackling sounds from time to time, giving people a mysterious and dangerous feeling. Cheng Yu's tall figure stood quietly by the sea, and his face was clearly reflected on the sparkling sea. The sea breeze gently brushed his hair, as if telling a secret. However, Cheng Yu just lowered his head slightly, staring at his reflection in the water, his eyes revealing a hint of thought and determination. Then, he took a deep breath, slowly raised his head, and his originally tense body gradually relaxed, and the powerful aura surging around him also receded like a tide. As the aura dissipated, Cheng Yu completed the action of removing the transformation. At this moment, he looked no different from usual, but only he knew how great the impact of the burst of power just now was. Although this aura was extremely powerful, and the increase in strength after the transformation was even more astonishing, the most critical problem was that the consumption in this state was too amazing, and the burden on the body was also quite heavy. Perhaps it was because Cheng Yu had not yet fully mastered this ability, or his body needed more time to adapt to such a high-intensity change. But in any case, this experience made him deeply realize that if he wanted to truly control this power, there was still a long way to go. So Cheng Yu returned to normal and flew back to his home by the sea. Chapter 13. Another night passed, and after a good rest, Cheng Yu was thinking hard about why his transformation was too burdensome. It might be because his basic combat power was a little weak or because he had no worries. Cheng Yu was thinking about finding a place to release his combat power and adapt to the transformation. Suddenly, Cheng Yu remembered the original plot, so he said to himself. By the way, Son Goku and Son Gohan always maintained the full power of Super Saiyan 1 and then broke through Super Saiyan 2. So should I keep transforming and then break through? It would be better. Cheng Yu thought about it, and it might be this reason, or there might be a detail that was not in the original plot, that is, Super Saiyan 1 is divided into several stages, why is Super Saiyan 2 always one stage? If Super Saiyan 2 is developed all the time, will it eventually reach full power or a state of consuming burden and energy balance? Cheng Yu was also stuck in a dead end. At this time, the useless system jumped out and spoke. Ding, my stupid host, just because it's not in the original plot doesn't mean you can't develop it. Besides, they haven't done what they did in Dragon Ball, doesn't mean you can't do it. And you have my invincible, smart, and icy system. Why don't you ask me? After hearing what the system said, Cheng Yu immediately reacted. Why did he keep going to that dead end? Others' failures don't mean I will definitely fail, why not give it a try? As soon as he said it, Cheng Yu thought about where he could fully release his aura and find someone to practice with. Yes, the Spirit Time House, and Piccolo is there too. Cheng Yu searched for Piccolo's aura inside and moved over instantly. Piccolo was also surprised when he saw Cheng Yu suddenly appearing in front of him, and then he regained his composure. Cheng Yu said without caring. Hey, Piccolo, I can't control my energy after training recently and need to adapt my fighting power. Do you want to spar with me? Piccolo thought for a while. Son Goku's fighting power increased too fast, and now he has transformed into a Super Saiyan. He chose to lag behind too much, so he said. Okay, I agree. By the way, I also need to become stronger. Cheng Yu was also very excited after hearing this. He could finally fight and move around, so he immediately said. Let's go, I'll take you to the Heavenly God Temple, otherwise if you fight on Earth, the Earth may not be able to bear it. Son Goku told me that there seems to be a training space in the Heavenly God Temple. After that, he pulled Piccolo and moved to the side of the old god in an instant. Then Cheng Yu looked at it and it was almost the same as what he saw on TV. So he said hello. Hello, God of Heaven. I came here because I heard from Son Goku that there is a training space in the Temple of God of Heaven. Because we are fighting on Earth with all our strength, I am afraid that the Earth cannot bear it, so I came here without permission. Sorry to bother you. The God of Heaven was originally a good-tempered person. Hearing Cheng Yu being very polite, he also recalled the place Cheng Yu mentioned. Suddenly, the God of Heaven said. It is the Spirit Time House, right? By the way, you can go in, but you can only stay in it for 2 years, otherwise the door will disappear and you can't get out. 1 day outside is 1 year inside. Popo, take them in. Thanks, old man. Picker still did his own thing, but this thank you was also unexpected by the God of Heaven. Popo also took 2 people in and told them about the precautions, and then left Piccolo and Cheng Yu in the Spirit Time House. Cheng Yu looked around and found that it was hard to tell the size, very vast, and without boundaries. Moreover, the space inside was all white, with nothing else. Cheng Yu took out the gravity suit, put it on himself, and adjusted the gravity. Then he turned into a Super Saiyan with full power and said to Piccolo. Piccolo, I'm wearing a gravity suit, I can't use my original fighting power, so you just need to burst out all your strength to fight me. This way, both of us will increase our fighting power. After listening, Piccolo also looked carefully at the gravity suit on Cheng Yu, and then took off his white cloak. He moved his shoulder bones. He made a martial arts gesture. Piccolo roared, and his whole body exuded a green aura. The powerful energy fluctuations shook the entire space slightly. Seeing this, Cheng Yu was not to be outdone. He rushed forward with all his strength against the huge gravity and started a fierce collision with Piccolo. The two of them fought back and forth, and it was difficult to tell who would win for a while. In the fierce battle, Cheng Yu gradually adapted to the limitations of the gravity suit, his fighting power continued to improve, and Piccolo also exerted his potential to the extreme. This battle, not only a contest of strength, but also a duel of will. As time went on, the battle between the two became more intense. Suddenly, Cheng Yu caught a flaw in Piccolo and kicked Piccolo in the abdomen. Piccolo took a few steps back, with a trace of blood spilling from the corner of his mouth. But he did not retreat, and immediately adjusted his posture and launched a Qigong wave to counterattack. Cheng Yu dodged sideways, then rushed towards Piccolo at a very fast speed and threw a powerful punch. Piccolo blocked the attack with his arm and counterattacked, and the two entangled again. Each of their moves contained great power, and the surrounding space was distorted because of their fight. In the end, Cheng Yu used all his strength and hit a trick to knock Piccolo to the ground. Piccolo fell to the ground, gasping for breath, but his eyes were full of admiration and satisfaction. This fierce battle greatly improved both of them, and they also had a deeper understanding of each other's strength. Cheng Yu helped Piccolo up, and the two smiled at each other, and the competition came to a successful conclusion. Cheng Yu took out the senzu beans from the system space and took one himself, then walked to Piccolo and gave him one. The two of them instantly recovered after taking the senzu beans. "Hey, Piccolo-san, do you want to try this gravity suit? It's very useful for training, comparable to a gravity room." "Sure, I also want to try to see how perverted you are." Cheng Yu took off the gravity suit and put it on Piccolo and taught Piccolo how to increase and decrease gravity. Piccolo also started to adapt to the training immediately. "I really don't know how you adapted to this thing. Although it's very uncomfortable, I have to say that it's still very good for training." Piccolo rarely praised. "Humph, that's because I've been living and training alone for so long relying on this thing. So come on, Piccolo, you must surpass that damn Vegeta. You can't be outdone by those two Saiyans." Cheng Yu started his CPU and anger method again. And the effect was naturally very useful to Piccolo. Not wanting to be outdone by those two Saiyans, he started training like crazy. Cheng Yu sat aside and began to meditate, and then tried to transform and train his breath control. Of course, there were also various skills. In order to perfectly control his breath and energy, Cheng Yu spent a long time to maintain the transformation and gather the outgoing breath. Chapter 14. On this day, Piccolo finished his arduous training and sat on the ground, exhausted and panting. He reached out and took out a precious senzu bean that Cheng Yu handed to him, and put it into his mouth without hesitation and chewed it. As the senzu bean was swallowed, a strong and warm energy quickly spread throughout his body, making Piccolo feel refreshed and full of strength. Piccolo stood up and looked into the distance with a firm look. He took a deep breath and slowly took off the extremely heavy gravity device on his body. In an instant, an unprecedented sense of relief came to his heart, but at the same time it was accompanied by a desire to challenge the limits of his own strength. At this moment, Piccolo suddenly released all the breath that had been hidden in his body for a long time. The majestic breath surged like a flood that broke through the dam, gushing out from his body continuously. For a moment, the whole space seemed to be shocked by this powerful breath, and the surrounding air began to fluctuate violently, forming a series of rolling air waves visible to the naked eye. These air waves spread in all directions at an astonishing speed, and it seemed that the space was vibrating wherever they passed. Cheng Yu looked at Piccolo without saying anything, but the Saiyan genes in his body could not be changed. The majestic energy made Cheng Yu very excited. It was a desire for battle. So Cheng Yu made a martial arts gesture, signaling Piccolo to fight. Piccolo also looked at Cheng Yu and understood his idea. So he also gathered his breath and took a deep breath and exhaled. Then he smiled and immediately rushed towards Cheng Yu. Piccolo rushed like a cannonball and rushed in front of Cheng Yu in an instant. He stretched out his fist and smashed it hard at Cheng Yu with a fierce momentum. Cheng Yu dodged Piccolo's attack by moving sideways, and at the same time kicked Piccolo in the abdomen. Piccolo jumped back and attacked again after landing. He used a series of punches and kicks, and his moves were fierce and powerful. Cheng Yu dodged Piccolo's attack flexibly, looking for a chance to counter-attack. He saw the right moment, suddenly grabbed Piccolo's arm, and threw Piccolo out with a strong swing. Piccolo adjusted his posture in the air and landed safely. He stared at Cheng Yu, his eyes flashing with excitement. The two sides looked at each other for a moment, then rushed towards each other at the same time, launching a fierce close combat. The fierce battle between Cheng Yu and Piccolo entered a white-hot stage, and each of their attacks contained great power. Suddenly, Cheng Yu shouted angrily, his hair stood up, his whole body radiated golden light, and the Super Saiyan 2 form was fully revealed. Piccolo felt the improvement of Cheng Yu's strength, and his mouth corners slightly raised. He knew that the real challenge had just begun. Cheng Yu's speed and strength have been greatly enhanced. He moved his body quickly, leaving a string of after-images, making Piccolo unpredictable. His attacks became more fierce, and every punch was enough to shake the world. Piccolo was not to be outdone. He used his own fighting skills to cleverly dodge Cheng Yu's attacks and launched counter-attacks from time to time. The two of them fought back and forth, neither of them giving in. The entire battlefield was shrouded in their aura. Cheng Yu seized a flaw in Piccolo, rushed forward suddenly, and punched Piccolo in the chest. Piccolo spit out a mouthful of blood and retreated repeatedly. But he did not give up, and immediately used the Qigong wave to counter-attack. Cheng Yu easily avoided it, came behind Piccolo at a very fast speed, and kicked him away again. Piccolo struggled to stand up, revealing a trace of despair in his eyes. However, at this moment, Cheng Yu actually began to gather energy and prepared to give Piccolo the final blow. "I won, Piccolo!" Cheng Yu shouted, and a powerful shock wave attacked Piccolo. Piccolo looked at the shock wave getting closer and closer, knowing that he could not avoid it, so he could only close his eyes and wait for the end to come. With a loud boom, the whole ground shook. When the smoke cleared, a deep pit appeared where Piccolo was. Cheng Yu looked at the scene in front of him and breathed a sigh of relief. This hard battle was finally over. Cheng Yu ran into the pit and took out a senzu bean and gave it to Piccolo. Piccolo put it in his mouth and chewed it without hesitation. As the senzu bean was swallowed, a strong and warm energy quickly spread throughout his body, making Piccolo feel refreshed and full of strength. Piccolo stood up and looked at Cheng Yu with a firm look. "Is this your new transformation? Very strong." Piccolo also felt the difference in this transformation and spoke. "Yes, if nothing goes wrong, you should be able to fight against Son Goku's Super Saiyan now. Mine is Super Saiyan 2. It can also be called a Saiyan transformation beyond the Super Saiyan." Cheng Yu also said to Piccolo explained the transformation. "Hi! Saiyans, what a perverted race! And you are even more perverted. But I have to say you are really strong. That aura is the strongest I have ever seen." Piccolo also talked about his own views. "Well, actually, I am similar to you, both alone. So training has become a part of my life. Of course, I train not only to have the ability to protect myself, but also to face unknown crises. No one can tell what will happen tomorrow, right?" Cheng Yu also smiled and spoke his mind. Piccolo looked at Cheng Yu and smiled, then said, "Yeah, I didn't understand it before, until Vegeta came to Earth to fight with Son Goku. I also found the meaning of fighting and training. To be honest, if you lose at that time, and then go out, I want to see the scene of the Namekian defeating the Saiyan Prince. If that happens, his self-esteem will probably collapse." Ha ha ha. Cheng Yu also laughed as he spoke. Piccolo listened to Cheng Yu's words and smiled at Cheng Yu. "Come on, today's training is not over yet. We have to be the strongest. We can't give up halfway. At least we have to be stronger than them while we are in there." Cheng Yu said as he picked up the gravity suit and put it on himself, then adjusted the gravity. Cheng Yu had not yet released the Super Saiyan 2 transformation that he had just transformed into, so he took out a senzu bean and swallowed it. Piccolo immediately got angry and started a new round of fighting. However, this time the battle between the two people changed from one-sided to evenly matched, or Cheng Yu was slightly at a disadvantage. Chapter 15. As time went by, Cheng Yu was lying on the ground sweating profusely after training, staring at the white sky in the spirit time room in a daze. Not far from Cheng Yu was Piccolo wearing the gravity suit and exercising hard. In order to become stronger and to have enough strength to deal with everything, Piccolo worked hard. Cheng Yu turned his head and looked at Piccolo, who was sweating profusely and still persisting. He also thought about it and thought that he was really working hard. In the original plot, Piccolo was just a tool man with few scenes. But now Cheng Yu decided to make him the protagonist. Of course, the premise is to train like crazy and catch up with or even surpass the Saiyan duo. As for Gohan, Cheng Yu wanted to follow the original plot, otherwise he would not see the so-called mysterious rice state and beast form. But I have to say that in fact, the only really handsome transformations in the whole plot are the transformations of Super Saiyan 4 and beast form. I have to complain about the other things. Actually, there is nothing else except the color change. Of course, I searched and found that Mr. Akira Toriyama is lazy, so he did it this way. So this is a difficult animation company. System, open the panel for me to see how much combat power I have now. Cheng Yu muttered in his heart. Because he was also afraid of being discovered by Piccolo, and then he would have to explain. Name, Cheng Yu. Race, Saiyan. Combat power, normal 2 billion. Items, gravity suit, Senzu Beans X120. In fact, in the spirit time chamber, Cheng Yu was always letting Piccolo play in order to maintain his transformation. Otherwise, he could fight Piccolo with his basic combat power without losing. After 2 years in the spirit time chamber, Piccolo has reached about 1.5 billion. It can be said that the improvement is very rapid. In the original plot, it took until the artificial human period to reach about 1.1 billion. In fact, Cell's complete form is only 20 billion, searched on Baidu. So with the current strength, he can completely control Cell. Even Lightning Cell can be beaten. So as long as nothing unexpected happens, Cheng Yu can definitely fight Cell. But Cheng Yu wants to save the siblings, so Cell can't become a complete body. So another situation arises. Cheng Yu was very entangled. If he saves the siblings, Son Gohan can't break through Super Saiyan 2, and if he doesn't save them, he will lose 2 free workers. Well, entangled. Originally, the siblings could recover after Cell's self-destruction, but Cheng Yu saw that Cell was too disgusting to swallow, so he couldn't bear it. Forget it, Cheng Yu thinks that he should change his habits and not get stuck in a dead end when encountering things. Otherwise, he will be hesitant and get into trouble when something big happens. Cheng Yu took out a senzu bean and put it in his mouth without hesitation and chewed it. As the senzu bean was swallowed, a strong and warm energy quickly spread throughout his body, making Cheng Yu feel refreshed and full of strength. Because Cheng Yu decided to try to develop a transformation like Super Saiyan 1, he took the senzu bean to restore his strength and stood up. Because of the training and physical fatigue, Cheng Yu did not maintain the Super Saiyan transformation, but lifted it for a while. So now Cheng Yu is still normal. Cheng Yu stood up and then suddenly sat down to think about something. Thinking to himself. Super Saiyan 1 is very strong, but Broly's Super Saiyan 1 should not only be due to the Super Saiyan bloodline. If I can also transform into a Super Saiyan 1 like that, it will be fine. System, why don't you come out and explain it to me? Ding, Broly's version of Super Saiyan, which absorbs the power of the giant ape form, is 10 times that of ordinary Super Saiyan 1, which means that Broly's Super Saiyan 1 is stronger than Goku's Super Saiyan 3. Of course, in terms of basic combat power, Broly is also far superior to ordinary Saiyans. Broly's Super Saiyan Green also belongs to the form of Super Saiyan 1, but it cannot be transformed without the Super Saiyan. In short, Broly's Super Saiyan Green form plus the increase in the power of the giant ape can match Super Saiyan Blue. Cheng Yu also understood the reason after hearing the system's explanation. In short, the Super Saiyan Green transformation of the Super Saiyan bloodline is 10 times stronger due to absorbing the power of the giant ape. It's really far from the truth. System, although I understand, I want to ask, can I absorb the power of the giant ape and then improve? That should also be a 10-fold improvement on the basis of transformation. After Cheng Yu figured it out, he asked about his own situation. Ding, actually it is possible, the Saiyan's subsequent transformation is originally to use the power of the giant ape. Besides, what I gave you is pure Saiyan blood, without any impurities. And didn't you notice, host? You don't have any angry and violent emotions. Cheng Yu was surprised when he heard the system's words, and then thought about the system's words, which seemed to make a lot of sense. But how to absorb it became a problem again. So at this time Cheng Yu asked assist the system. System, I know you are the best, tell me what to do. Super Saiyan 1 prompts 50 times the giant ape to increase by 10 times, which is equivalent to 500 times the normal state. Who wouldn't be tempted by this? Ding, please don't think about those ideas now, because the host's body can't bear it temporarily, so it can't absorb the giant ape's power. But I can help the host develop the stage transformation of Super Saiyan 2. Please sign in if you need it. Cheng Yu also understood, although he had to admit in his heart that he was curious and even eager for huge improvement and energy. But forget it when facing something that cannot be grasped. But Cheng Yu decided that it was necessary to consider the stage of Super Saiyan 2. Chapter 16. Come on Piccolo, we should go out after our last sparring. Blast with all your energy. Let me see if you have improved. Cheng Yu also waved at Piccolo. Piccolo smiled and said nothing, but took off the gravity suit he was wearing. After taking off the gravity suit, Piccolo felt relaxed all over. He moved his body slightly. He clenched his hands and burst out a majestic aura. And a layer of airwaves directly surrounded Piccolo's body. Cheng Yu felt Piccolo's powerful aura and his face showed excitement. He was not to be outdone, and went all out, mobilizing all his strength to fight with Piccolo. The two sides fought back and forth, fists and palms intersected, and the momentum was like a rainbow. Every move contained great power, and the air around them was twisted by the excitement. Piccolo used his special skills and attacked Cheng Yu like a storm. Cheng Yu dodged flexibly and looked for opportunities to counterattack. Finally, Cheng Yu found Piccolo's weakness. He took the opportunity to launch a counterattack and punched Piccolo in the abdomen. Piccolo took a few steps back, but soon stabilized his body and rushed forward again. Cheng Yu took advantage of the victory and pursued Piccolo without giving him a chance to breathe. He launched continuous attacks and beat Piccolo back step by step. Seeing that the situation was unfavorable, Piccolo decided to use his ultimate move. He gathered all the energy in his body and prepared to deliver a fatal blow. At this moment, Cheng Yu also began to gather energy, and his body radiated a dazzling light. What? Piccolo's eyes widened, looking at Cheng Yu in disbelief. The next moment, Cheng Yu successfully transformed into Super Saiyan 2, and his strength instantly increased several times. Take it, Piccolo! Cheng Yu shouted and rushed towards Piccolo. Piccolo fought hard, but in the face of Cheng Yu's super strength, everything was in vain. In the end, Cheng Yu killed Piccolo with one blow and completely defeated him. Piccolo fell to the ground and couldn't stand up again. Cheng Yu looked at Piccolo who fell to the ground, and his heart was full of accomplishment. He knew that his strength had made a new breakthrough. Cheng Yu did not return to normal, but prepared to keep the Super Saiyan and carry out daily life and exercise. Of course, Cheng Yu still flew to Piccolo's body and took out a senzu bean to feed it to Piccolo. Piccolo put it in his mouth and chewed it without hesitation. As the senzu bean was swallowed, a strong and warm energy quickly spread throughout the body, making Piccolo feel refreshed and full of strength. Really, very strong. This breath is really bottomless. Piccolo looked at Cheng Yu's Super Saiyan 2 and sighed. Cheng Yu smiled and said, "Wait a minute, I will gather my breath and then go out like this. I have to keep transforming to adapt to this form and development." After speaking, Cheng Yu slowly closed his eyes. He concentrated on mobilizing his own strength, trying to gather the mysterious golden airwaves surrounding his body. In an instant, dazzling lightning burst around him like a silver snake, making a crackling sound. However, facing such an amazing scene, Cheng Yu seemed unusually calm and steady. He took a deep breath, as if he wanted to absorb the energy of the whole world into his stomach. Then, he began to gather the breath in his body with all his strength, and carefully gathered it deep into his back and tail. As time went on, the originally violent lightning gradually became docile. They were like a group of tamed wild horses, quietly surrounding Cheng Yu. When all the steps were completed, Cheng Yu, who was now in front of everyone, had undergone earth-shaking changes. In addition to the hair that shines with brilliant golden light, the golden eyebrows that are as sharp as swords, and the deep and mysterious golden pupils, the most notable feature is the dazzling lightning that flashes around his body from time to time. These lightnings are like the twinkling stars in the night sky, making Cheng Yu look full of unparalleled majesty and domineering. What is surprising is that no matter the previous form or the current appearance, the long tail behind Cheng Yu always maintains a golden color. This unique detail has undoubtedly become another symbol of his uniqueness, and it also makes Piccolo more curious and awed by the powerful power he possesses. After doing all this, Cheng Yu also greeted Piccolo and walked out together. Wow, I haven't breathed fresh air for a long time. It's really refreshing. Cheng Yu stretched and said to himself. Cheng Yu looked at the old god coming towards him and said hello to express his gratitude. After saying goodbye to Piccolo, he was ready to fly home. The first thing I did when I got home was to ask the kitchen robot to make a big meal. Cheng Yu is a Saiyan now after all. His appetite is like a surging sea, endless. When Cheng Yu was full, he took a drink and lay down in his yard to rest. Chapter 18. Another week passed, and Cheng Yu had maintained Super Saiyan 2 for more than a week. It can be said that he could use it normally. And on this day, Cheng Yu also remembered the system that had not appeared for a long time, so he said. System, the stage development of Super Saiyan 2 you mentioned is still true. Sign in for me. Ding, congratulations on signing in and obtaining. Choice 1, combat power increases by 1 billion, skill 10,000 nations shocking palm. Choice 2, Super Saiyan 2 stage development method, Senzu Beans x50. System, I choose 2, sign in for me. After that, the system instilled the stage development method of Super Saiyan 2 into Cheng Yu's mind. And the Senzu Beans were naturally stored in the system space. It turns out that the stages of Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 are similar. The only big difference is that it does not need to excessively increase the transformation multiples, but to perfectly achieve the perfect increase and consumption of the form through the breath. Cheng Yu looked at this method and was stunned. Then it seems that I have completely gathered the breath and the air wave, and it seems that I have already become the perfect form of this transformation. Enough, system. You give me a sign in. Damn it. Cheng Yu regrets it now. If I had known earlier, I would have chosen a stronger combat power than this. It turns out that I have developed this transformation completely by accident. Now I am crying without tears. However, no matter how Cheng Yu yelled and scolded the system never responded from beginning to end. So Cheng Yu stopped scolding after he ran out of words. Cheng Yu also remembered that he seemed to have a combat power doubling card. Now his account is about 2 billion. After doubling and adapting to his own battle, Trunks will come. He did it right away. Cheng Yu walked into the gravity room, put on the gravity suit, and then silently used the combat power doubling card in his mind. The doubling card was also applied to Cheng Yu immediately, and Cheng Yu immediately felt that my body was out of control and there were large waves of air and breath coming out. Cheng Yu also immediately cancelled the transformation and returned to normal. After returning to normal, the situation was better. Because Super Saiyan 2 could be used as normal in the past, the situation is not too serious now. It's just that the combat power after the transformation needs to be used and trained again. So I immediately adjusted the gravity room and gravity suit and started hard training. Of course, this process is also very painful and happy. After all, I enjoy the pleasure of sweating and increasing strength after training. After a long period of training, Cheng Yu finally adapted to the doubled strength. He took a deep breath and started the transformation again. This time, he successfully turned into Super Saiyan 2, exuding a strong breath. Cheng Yu felt the surging energy in his body and was very excited. He knew that his strength had been qualitatively improved. Next, he would face even more powerful enemies, but he was not afraid. In the center of the training room, Cheng Yu clenched his fists and looked forward with a firm look. He was ready to meet any challenge. As his breathing gradually stabilized, he burst out with amazing power, and the whole training room was shaken. Cheng Yu also did the same training as in the Spirit Time House. Cheng Yu slowly closed his eyes, and he concentrated on mobilizing his own strength, trying to gather the mysterious golden airwaves surrounding his body. In an instant, dazzling lightning exploded around him like a silver snake, making a crackling sound. However, facing such an amazing, Cheng Yu seemed unusually calm and steady. He took a deep breath, as if he wanted to absorb the energy of the whole world into his stomach. Then, he began to concentrate the breath in his body with all his strength, and carefully gathered it deep into his danshan. As time went by, the originally violent lightning gradually became docile, like a group of tamed wild horses, quietly surrounding Cheng Yu. After recovering this appearance, Cheng Yu also began to do simple adaptation training. You should know that Cheng Yu's combat power after the transformation of Super Saiyan 2 can reach 400 billion. Very terrifying. It can be said that now destroying a planet can be easily destroyed by a random energy wave. At this time, because of the breath just now, Son Goku directly moved here in an instant. But after all, he came to the gravity room, so Son Goku was pressed to the ground by the gravity of the gravity room. When Cheng Yu found out about Son Goku's embarrassment, he immediately shut down the gravity and asked Son Goku, "Why are you here? Shouldn't you be at home with Sun Wuhan? I just felt your huge aura and instantly move over. Your aura just now was really terrifying, can you spar with me?" Son Goku is indeed a martial arts fanatic, and he asked for a sparring match right away. Cheng Yu smiled, spread one hand and made a gesture of invitation, and said, "Okay, let's fight outside. We can't bear it here, and we can't fight on the ground, the earth can't bear it." After that, Cheng Yu and Son Goku flew directly to the suburbs, and the two looked at each other and flew into the air. Cheng Yu made a gesture to Son Goku to start first. Seeing this, Son Goku was not polite, and immediately used all his strength. Transparent air waves surged around him. He shouted and rushed towards Cheng Yu. Cheng Yu's eyes flashed with excitement, and he also went all out to meet him. The two collided rapidly in the air, and for a moment, the energy was overflowing, and the space seemed to be distorted. Every fight between them caused a violent. The explosion shattered the surrounding clouds. The intensity of this battle was far beyond the imagination of ordinary people. Son Goku's eyes were sharp, and his whole body was emitting a light white light. He rushed towards Cheng Yu and punched Cheng Yu hard. However, Cheng Yu did not retreat. He raised the corners of his mouth, easily dodged Son Goku's attack, and launched a counter-attack. The two sides fought back and forth, neither giving in. Suddenly, Son Goku used his ultimate move Kamehameha, and a powerful energy wave blasted towards Cheng Yu. Cheng Yu quickly dodged sideways, while gathering energy with both hands, ready to give Son Goku a fatal blow. At this critical moment, Son Goku actually improved his strength again, and he successfully turned into a Super Saiyan 1. His hair stood up, his aura became stronger, and the whole person was like a god of war. Cheng Yu felt the pressure, and he knew he had to come up with something to deal with Son Goku's challenge. He took a deep breath, gathered all his energy in his fist, and started the final showdown with Son Goku. Cheng Yu shouted loudly, and his whole body burst out instantly. His fist was filled with unparalleled power, it went straight towards Son Goku. Son Goku resisted with all his strength, but was still pushed back dozens of meters by this huge force. Cheng Yu took advantage of the situation and launched a series of fierce attacks, which made Son Goku retreat step by step. In the end, Cheng Yu defeated Son Goku completely with a killer move. Son Goku fell to the ground and was unconscious. Cheng Yu looked at the fallen Son Goku and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. He was worthy of being the protagonist. His strength was really strong. If it weren't for his own practice and relying on the system, he might not have won. And it seems that Son Goku is now a little stronger than in the original plot. Chapter 19. By the way, Trunks should be here. In that case, I should go out and take a look. Cheng Yu said as he took off the gravity room and gravity suit and put them back into the system space. Because he was careless last time and forgot the gravity room at home, otherwise, he would have practiced faster in the spiritual time house. On the other side, Frieza and King Cold had already arrived and landed in the suburbs. The Z-fighters felt the evil breath at the same time, so they rushed over immediately. Cheng Yu had just packed up his things and noticed the two breaths, so he didn't waste any time and flew over directly. But when he arrived at the ground, Cheng Yu didn't go forward, but took his breath back into his body from a distance and watched the battle quietly. On the battlefield, the Z-fighters had just rushed over and were also watching Frieza and King Cold vigilantly. "Ho ho ho, you're all here. This time I'll make sure you die without a burial place." Pico is not a person who plays by the rules. Without waiting for everyone to speak, he rushed up. Piccolo and Frieza started a fierce battle, and both sides went back and forth, neither giving in. At the critical moment, Piccolo used his ultimate move and defeated Frieza in one fell swoop. Frieza fell to the ground, his body gradually dissipated, and turned into wisps of black smoke and disappeared in the air. Seeing this, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. However, at this moment, a mysterious light fell from the sky and fell into the place where Frisia disappeared. The light dissipated, and a brand new figure appeared in the sky. The man carried a sword on his back, and his purple hair fluttered in the wind. That's right, that was Trunks who had just arrived. Trunks didn't waste words. Seeing that there was a Kurdish king standing in front of him, he rushed forward and slashed with a sword. But the Kurdish king immediately reacted and burst out all his energy to fight with him. On the other side, Cheng Yu also found that the earth was too fragile. If two people put a big energy bomb on the ground, the earth might not be able to bear it. So he immediately moved over with 2 fingers to catch the sword chopped by Trunks, and the other hand launched a power wave to directly destroy the Kurdish king. The people on the ground didn't know what was going on, but Cheng Yu in the air ignored Trunks' shocked expression and said, "Trunks, come with me, ignore them first, let's talk." Trunks was even more shocked at this time. How did he know my name? He was puzzled but still flew to a hidden place with Cheng Yu. "I also know the purpose of your coming, and I also know what happened to you. I called you here to explain to you." "Then how do you know me, sir? And who are you?" Cheng Yu looked at Trunks's questioning face and slowly said, "My name is Cheng Yu, to be precise, I am also a scion." "I know what you want to say, there is no me in your future, right? Then you know this? There is indeed no you in the future." Trunks thought of the sword he had just caught and said slowly, "Because you are in a parallel world, not the future. In fact, no one can travel through time. The so-called time and space also rely on space and time to go to a parallel world. And I don't exist in your world, can you understand it?" Trunks also understood, but after this explanation, he seemed to find that he could not change their future world. Cheng Yu also noticed that his face was not looking good, so he thought about it and said immediately, "Your world is indeed unchangeable, sorry. But our current world can be changed, right? And don't you want to change your world by yourself? I don't know why you know this, but if you can, please tell me." "Okay, let's make it short. You just saw my strength. I will go to the future world with you. But you can only change it by yourself, understand? I will train you together and take a look at that world. But now you must complete the things you haven't sent out and the words you said. Because they don't know this." Trunks was full of hope when he heard it, "Then wait for me, I'll be back soon." Trunks also flew out immediately and went to the protagonist group. Just like the original plot, he notified Son Goku and gave him the heart disease medicine. He also explained to him why. Then he flew back in front of Cheng Yu. "You don't have to rush back. First, you have to live with me in this world for a day, and by the way, you can talk to the elders here, but you can't reveal your identity, okay? We'll set off on time tomorrow morning. As for why I think you can see this world," Cheng Yu said lightly. Without waiting for him to reply, he put his hand on his shoulder and moved to the side of the protagonists in an instant. "Let me introduce you to you. This is my friend. He is also here to hunt down Frisia and King Cold. He will stay with me on Earth for a day. Tomorrow, he and I will leave for a while and come back after a while." Cheng Yu said, and then seemed to remember something. He immediately said, "By the way, he is very strong, you can fight with him." Son Goku was excited. Hearing that he was strong and could fight, he immediately took Trunks' hand and prepared to try. Trunks looked at Cheng Yu. Cheng Yu gave him a faint smile. "I said, you can experience life here for a day today, and set off tomorrow morning. Today is a plain life." As soon as these words came out, Trunks seemed to be lost in memories, and then he looked at the people standing here, smiled, and flew into the air with Son Goku to start sparring. Chapter 20. The time spent with companions always goes by very quickly. It can be said that time flies by in the blink of an eye. Trunks also felt the long-lost companions and family affection while getting along with everyone. Since sparring with everyone, Trunks is no longer nervous, but chats with everyone very well, but he is a little uncomfortable with the names. Of course, except Cheng Yu and Son Goku and Piccolo, who has a very sharp ear who overheard some information, no one knows his identity. And Son Goku and others will not reveal his identity. At night, with the starry sky overhead, Trunks also said something from his heart. "Thank you, Cheng Yu." Cheng Yu lay on a chair in his yard, looked at Trunks and smiled, then said, "Are you tired?" Trunks heard the implication, and thought carefully about the life and companions in that future world. When he came to his senses, he also said, "Tired, but there is nothing I can do." "Trunks, actually, I want you to relax a little, don't think too much. You have something you want to protect, but you should do it within your ability, instead of imposing some unsolvable difficulties on yourself." Cheng Yu looked up at the starry sky and preached. Then he seemed to remember something, so he continued. "Let me tell you about my life. I was exiled to a deserted planet when I was a baby. I lived alone. When I wanted to find my parents and my life one day, planet Vegeta was gone. And I was confused." Cheng Yu sighed at this time, paused for a moment, and then spoke again. "Later, I returned to that deserted planet alone, until Son Goku transformed into a Super Saiyan for the first time. I felt the breath of Saiyans. Then I came to Earth. I have always been alone, but I don't hate King Vegeta who exiled me and those Saiyans. I don't hate Frieza anymore. This is a kind of relief for me. And don't you think it's good to be alone and worry-free?" Trunks fell into deep memories, remembering the exhaustion of facing the androids alone in the future world, and the powerlessness of Brother Gohan to sacrifice himself. He also remembered his old mother. Alas! Trunks sighed and said nothing. Cheng Yu looked at his reaction and thought that his ability to speak was amazing. Seeing his reaction, he should continue to add fuel to the fire. So he spoke again. "Do you know why you can't handle future disasters? It's because you are afraid of your own incompetence, you are afraid of losing everything. Then why can't you cheer up and train yourself to defeat those two people? Because there is a thorn in your heart, and you have to remove this thorn yourself." Trunks' dim eyes were full of self-doubt. But after Cheng Yu said this, Trunks also understood, and his eyes glowed again. "Thank you, Mr. Cheng Yu. I understand. I will definitely solve that problem." Cheng Yu listened to his words and realized their effect, and also chatted about family matters. "The reason why I know you and the future time and space is because there was a person who could predict dreams when I was training in the universe. That's why I know all this. Of course, the two times are basically the same, but this world may have changed some things because of me. There may be me in your world, but I may not survive on the desolate planet. Oh, by the way, I feel like going to sleep, I also need to rest. Otherwise, how can I accompany you to your world tomorrow? I feel like you are also going to rest. After resting well, I will start a devilish special training for you in that world tomorrow." After that, Cheng Yu walked into the house and went back to his room to rest. Trunks took a look at the dazzling starry sky in space and immediately clenched his fists and said to himself, "I will definitely change. I will definitely change." Then he smiled and went back to the room arranged by Cheng Yu to rest. Chapter 21. The next day, Cheng Yu and Trunks did not say goodbye, but directly asked Trunks to put the time machine in his yard and prepare to set off. Trunks and Cheng Yu got into the time machine one after another, then closed the hatch, adjusted the button and started it immediately. As the time machine started, the huge time machine in the yard flashed and disappeared. And on the way of the time machine, the tunnel was full of colorful lights. Accompanied by a flash of white light, yes, it was the place. Cheng Yu jumped down first and looked at the desolate and barren land under his feet, and the ruined city with broken rocks and walls in front of him. It was the first time that he was touched in his heart in this world. Trunks did not speak, put away the time machine by himself and accompanied Cheng Yu to watch the unbearable scene. Cheng Yu came to his senses and immediately asked Trunks to take him to their place. When they arrived at the place, Trunks also told Bulma about Cheng Yu's origins and everything Cheng Yu told him. After hearing these things, although Bulma's eyes were filled with gloom for a moment, she adjusted herself immediately. Cheng Yu happened to notice that in order to liven up the atmosphere, Cheng Yu spoke at this time. "Ms. Bulma is the same as in my world. It's just that Bulma in our world still prefers handsome guys. Ha ha ha, by the way, my name is Cheng Yu." Bulma's face was obviously much more relaxed after hearing this, and she also smiled. But she politely stretched out her hand and shook hands with Cheng Yu. "Mr. Cheng Yu, I'm sorry, and I asked you to come to the future world specially. It doesn't matter, I can easily deal with the androids, but I won't do it now, because Trunks has to go there himself." And I will take him to the temple of the gods for training for 2 days. Bulma didn't feel happy or regretful after hearing this, but she didn't say anything and started thinking. Don't worry about this. He will only succeed if you believe in him, just like Son Goku, right? Also, please help us prepare some food, Bulma. I'll take you too with me when the time comes. Bulma was obviously moved when she heard the word sister. She was stunned for a moment when she saw Cheng Yu's young, handsome, and sunny face. Coming back to her senses, she was obviously very excited when she heard him calling her sister. But after hearing what Cheng Yu said, he immediately said, Okay, then you wait a moment. Bulma walked away, and Cheng Yu looked at Trunks and said, Bulma is different from our world. The Bulma here is more mature, while the one in our world is more like a little girl. Trunks smiled when Cheng Yu teased his mother, and then said, Of course, after all, the development of this world is obviously faster than your world. And it is not easy for my mother to take care of me after going through so many things. Okay, don't sigh, I'm here to solve this problem now, and by the way, I'll tell you something, there are still Dragon Balls in this world. Trunks and Bulma in the kitchen heard this sentence. And Trunks was still thinking about the meaning of this sentence. And Bulma's face has obviously improved a lot, and she smiled from the heart. Ah, Dragon Ball, ah! There are still Dragon Balls. Does that mean that this world can be restored? Really? Trunks jumped up from the sofa as soon as he reacted. I'm not sure about this. Dragon Ball can only revive people with souls. I don't know if their souls are still there. Of course, Son Gohan's soul should be with King Kai of the North. After all, he is his master. As for Vegeta, I'm really not sure. You should also know that he did a lot of bad things before Earth. As for the soul, as long as it has not been reincarnated, it's fine. Cheng Yu thought for a while and explained, suppressing his curiosity and mood. It's okay, as long as we can restore this world. The rest depends on us after all. Even if they can't be resurrected, I will protect this world well. That's right. By the way, I'm also a Saiyan, you know, you can now be said to be the only person in the entire universe with Saiyan blood. Come on, don't disgrace this power. Cheng Yu smiled and said. Oh, by the way, you can ask your mother if she wants to become younger. After all, girls care about this matter. This matter should make her happier. Cheng Yu whispered to Trunks' ear. Okay, let's eat. Bulma's voice came. After the three of them finished their meal, Cheng Yu asked Son Goku's Kikai, is he still here? I am ready to take him with me. Then, 2 women and 2 men flew to the Temple of Heaven together. Arriving at the Temple of Heaven, Cheng Yu walked straight into the spiritual time and took them in, then took out the gravity room and gravity suit. Put this on and go in to train yourself first. This is a gravity suit and gravity room. Don't worry about the time. 1 year inside and 1 day outside. Then I'll see if I can teach them to use Qi, so that they can protect themselves in the future. Cheng Yu also taught Trunks how to use it, then walked towards the 2 women and taught them. Because the future world is really a bit tragic, there is no way, Cheng Yu can only do his best. And in the future, the king of all will be left with Trunks and Xiao Wu because Zamasu knows the entire universe. Cheng Yu has no way to deal with this kind of thing. Cheng Yu is also trying his best to let these 2 women who are not happy with their lives learn to control their breath. They don't require high combat power, as long as they can send Qigong waves and fly. After explaining the principle to the 2 women, he demonstrated it again and asked them to feel it, then he came to the gravity room and took out a few senzu beans and gave them to Trunks. Then Cheng Yu became a non-human, adjusted the gravity to the maximum multiple that Trunks could bear, and began to let Trunks adapt to the nature of the training by himself. After that, he would teach him how to fight and perfectly control his breath and so on. Chapter 22. I don't know how long I stayed in the spirit time room. Cheng Yu also tried hard to teach Bulma and Chi how to use their breath. Fortunately, the 2 of them worked hard and finally got started. Teaching the 2 women almost broke Cheng Yu down. It was really too difficult to teach them. Cheng Yu asked them to adapt to their bodies and breath first and then came to the gravity room. Seeing Trunks sweating in training, Cheng Yu came to him and said, Come on, fight me first. Then I will correct your movements based on your battle. Cheng Yu got ready, his eyes focused, and he whispered, Trunks, concentrate and feel my breath. Trunks took a deep breath and nodded, and the two instantly entered the fighting state. Cheng Yu took the lead in attacking. He was extremely fast and rushed towards Trunks like lightning. Seeing this, Trunks immediately dodged sideways and quickly counterattacked. In the fierce battle, Cheng Yu constantly pointed out Trunks' shortcomings and gave him some technical advice. Trunks accepted it humbly and constantly adjusted his tactics. As time went on, Trunks' progress was obvious, and his strength and speed had improved significantly. Finally, Cheng Yu called a halt and smiled at Trunks with satisfaction. "Good job, Trunks. Keep up this state and you will become stronger." Trunks wiped the sweat from his forehead and looked at Cheng Yu gratefully. "Come on, take off your gravity suit now and try it with me. Remember what I taught you." After Trunks took off his gravity suit, he felt much lighter. He confronted Cheng Yu again, his eyes full of confidence. Cheng Yu smiled and signaled to start, and the battle broke out again. Without the restraint of gravity, Trunks' movements were more agile. He flexibly avoided Cheng Yu's attacks and launched counter-attacks from time to time. The two sides went back and forth, neither giving in. Trunks gradually applied the skills he learned to actual combat, and each time he attacked, he became more and more accurate and powerful. Cheng Yu nodded secretly. He saw Trunks' growth and felt relieved. After another round of wonderful attack and defense, Cheng Yu suddenly stopped and said to Trunks with a smile, "You have mastered the essentials. Keep going." Trunks clenched his fist excitedly and thanked Cheng Yu for his teaching. This battle gave him a lot of gains and made him more determined to improve his strength. Cheng Yu did not ask Trunks to wear a gravity suit. Instead, he taught him some skills, such as Kamehameha and Vegeta's Gakgle Cannon, his father. Trunks also absorbed Cheng Yu's teachings little by little, and accumulated combat experience little by little in the battle with Cheng Yu. Just like a sponge absorbing little by little. During this period, Cheng Yu not only trained Trunks specifically, but also taught the two women how to use their qi, and taught them some qigong waves by the way. During this period, Cheng Yu also practiced from time to time. After all, he also needed training. "Come on, Trunks, let's fight again. This time you can use Super Saiyan to attack." Trunks didn't waste any words and clenched his hands to transform into Super Saiyan, then rushed towards Cheng Yu. Cheng Yu stood in place to welcome Trunks' powerful attack. Trunks rushed towards Cheng Yu at supersonic speed, and his fist hit Cheng Yu hard with the power of destroying the world. Cheng Yu dodged sideways and then kicked Trunks in the waist. The two of them fought back and forth, and it was hard to tell. Bulma and Chi-Chi who were watching the battle were all shocked. How will this peak duel end? The fierce battle between Cheng Yu and Trunks continued, and their figures were as fast as lightning, dazzling people. Suddenly, Cheng Yu found a flaw in Trunks, and he quickly took action, defeated the enemy with one move, and knocked Trunks to the ground. Cheng Yu also slowly descended from the sky at this time, looked at Trunks, and gave him a senzu bean before slowly speaking. "Actually, Super Saiyan 1 is divided into 4 stages. Didn't you find that you are now in the Super Saiyan 1 stage, only the strength is increased, but the speed is slowed down?" Cheng Yu not only explained the Super Saiyan 1 stage to Trunks, but also demonstrated it to Trunks. "The most important thing for you is to practice Super Saiyan 1 at full power, and then try to see if you can break through to Super Saiyan 2. Don't worry, there is still a lot of time." After Cheng Yu finished speaking, he looked at Trunks and smiled, and then slowly explained to Trunks how to develop the transformation system, and then let Trunks maintain the most balanced Super Saiyan 1 stage and keep transforming. Trunks did the same and then sweating in the gravity room again. Cheng Yu looked at the two women outside and walked towards them. Cheng Yu did not speak but listened to their slow chat. Cheng Yu just lay down with his eyes closed and remembered everything in his previous life. Thinking back to everything he did now, even he sighed. "I am really nosy, and I really can't stand bad things. Forget it, maybe I am too kind." Cheng Yu smiled, then sat up and told the two women about his time and space and some interesting things. He also shared some interesting things from his previous life with them. Because it was really boring in the spirit time room, but for Trunks, the two women never had any complaints. It can be said to be very great. Chapter 23. Time passed quickly in the spirit time chamber, and Cheng Yu and Trunks also gained something. Cheng Yu's basic combat power increased, and Trunks not only increased his basic combat power, but also developed the full power of Super Saiyan 1. Trunks, come on, fight for the last time, and then you can go and protect the things you should protect yourself. Cheng Yu said, making a starting gesture and waving at Trunks to signal him to attack first. Trunks shouted, and instantly transformed into the full power state of Super Saiyan 1, rushing towards Cheng Yu. Seeing this, Cheng Yu did not show any weakness and also fought in the form of Super Saiyan 1. The two fought hand to hand, punching each other, and neither gave in. For a while, the entire spirit time chamber was filled with the air waves generated by their fierce collision. Trunks tried his best to find Cheng Yu's flaws, but Cheng Yu's strength was no longer the same as before, and his defense was watertight. As time went by, Trunks' breathing gradually became rapid, while Cheng Yu's breath remained steady. Finally, Cheng Yu seized a mistake made by Trunks and punched him in the abdomen, knocking him to the ground. It's okay, your strength is now much better than before. You can solve some problems by yourself. Cheng Yu gave him a senzu bean and took him to Bulma and Chi Chi. It's okay, you can go out now. Trunks will be a real strong man in the future. Cheng Yu smiled and signaled everyone to go out. After several people went out, they breathed in the fresh air and sighed, and Cheng Yu looked at the ground of the earth under the heavenly palace. It was dilapidated, the city was in ruins, and the roads were potholes and muddy. It was simply a scene of the end of the world. Hey, I'm going to Namek to see if the Dragon Ball can be restored. Miss Bulma and Chi Chi, you wait here for a while. Trunks will go and deal with the androids. After all, you have the ability now. Okay, Mr. Cheng Yu, I understand. Trunks didn't say much nonsense, but rushed down the Temple of Heaven directly, and flew directly into the city to look for androids. After Cheng Yu explained to the two women, he also put his fingers together and leaned against his forehead to search for the breath of the name Qian. It took a long time to confirm and then moved over instantly. When he came to Namek, he saw the name Qian and immediately rushed forward to greet them and explained the purpose of his visit. Of course, the main reason was that he said he knew Son Goku and the others. The name Qian was naturally undecided and brought him to the elder. Hello, I'm Son Goku's friend. There were originally Dragon Balls on Earth, but Son Goku died of a heart attack, and the others were killed by two androids. The gods on Earth were also named Qians, so they were also destroyed. That's why I need to borrow the Dragon Balls. Cheng Yu didn't beat around the bush and stated his purpose directly. Son Goku, go to each village and notify them to send the Dragon Balls over. I didn't expect that the people who saved us are gone now. The elder was also very sad and sighed, but he was still very considerate and ordered to notify the people in each village to prepare to lend Cheng Yu the Dragon Balls. By the way, elder, I want to ask if you can lend me a name Qian. We can't do without gods on Earth. I think you should have seen the previous gods, but there are no more now, so I want to ask you if it's okay. Cheng Yu also knew that it was a bit impolite to ask for people so directly, so his voice was much lower. Of course, Son Goku and his friends helped us through the difficult times. Let's help them this time. Can you think about whether there are any suitable candidates? Candidates? Is there a name Qian who had a particularly good relationship with Son Goku's son, Son Gohan? If possible, please ask him if he is willing to go with me. Oh, by the way, you are talking about Tian Tian. He is indeed an excellent name Qian. We can only ask him for your opinion, and we can't help you with anything else. No problem, it's wrong to come here to disturb you, so just ask for me. Thank you very much for your help. Cheng Yu bowed deeply. It just so happened that the Dragon Ball had just been delivered at this time, so the Great Elder ordered a name Qian to help Cheng Yu make a wish, and Cheng Yu followed this person outside. With the name Qian's spell, the 7 Dragon Balls merged into one. And with the golden light shining in the sky, a dragon balloon emerged from the Dragon Balls that had just merged on the ground. Chia. The first wish is that you ask Shenlong to ask Son Goku and Son Gohan if they are willing to be resurrected. Shenlong said he can't do that, and he told me to advise you not to ask too much about this matter. As soon as this sentence came out, although Cheng Yu had doubts, he didn't dare to show it now, so Cheng Yu said the second wish. Then the second wish is to help me make the Earthlings Chi Chi and Bulma younger. The name Qian said to Shenlong Porunga. Shenlong Porunga's eyes flashed red, and he also said a few words to the name Qian on the ground, and these words were said by this name Qian to Cheng Yu. The dragon Porunga said that the first wish doesn't count, so you can make 2 more wishes. Cheng Yu was not happy after hearing this, but fell into thought, and then spoke to the name Qian. Let me have a gravity suit that can freely adjust gravity. The third wish is to let me have the ability to survive and breathe in the universe. The name Qian repeated it to the dragon Porunga word for word, and the dragon just flashed red in his eyes, and the two wishes were fulfilled. Chapter 24. After the name Qians made their wishes, Trunks immediately found the two androids for the final battle. Hey, isn't this Trunks? Why are you willing to come out to see us today? The two androids also looked down at Trunks from the air and teased him. Humph, today I'm here to settle accounts with you. You destroyed our homeland and killed many innocent people. Especially Gohan, I want to avenge him. After Trunks finished speaking, his aura changed immediately, and golden light surrounded Trunks in an instant, and Trunks directly transformed into a Super Saiyan. Without saying a word, Trunks rushed directly towards number 17. Seeing this, number 17 smiled slightly and easily avoided Trunks' attack. However, this was just a feint by Trunks, and his real target was number 18. Trunks flashed behind number 18 and raised his fist to hit her hard. Number 18 sensed Trunks' intention and quickly turned around to try to resist, but it was too late. The punch hit No 18's face hard. She stepped back a few steps, and a trace of blood oozed from the corner of her mouth. Trunks, you dare to hurt me! Number 18 roared angrily, and her eyes became more fierce. Trunks ignored No 18's provocation. He attacked again and started a fierce battle with the two. Trunks became more and more courageous, and number 17 gradually fell into a disadvantage. Seeing this, number 18 decided to use her ultimate move. She gathered energy and prepared to launch a Qigong wave. At this moment, Trunks saw the opportunity and used the Kamehameha Qigong taught to him by Cheng Yu. The powerful force instantly overwhelmed number 18, and she was blown away. Number 18 fell heavily to the ground and could not move. Trunks walked up to her, looked down at her and said, "This is what happens when you hurt others." After saying that, Trunks dodged behind number 17, and number 17 didn't react and was blown away by Trunks. Number 17 fell to the ground and vomited blood. He struggled to stand up, but his body didn't obey. Trunks looked at number 17 in front of him, and his heart was full of a sense of accomplishment. "You lost, No 17. Trunks said. Trunks fired a Kamehameha Lingju, and number 17 was directly submerged in this energy bomb and disappeared. And number 18 felt the emotion of loss for the first time when he looked at Trunks who was coming towards him and number 17 who had disappeared. But Trunks would not tell them more. Trunks had waited for this day for a long time, Son Gohan had waited for a long time, and even all mankind had waited for a long time. Trunks fired an energy bomb, the familiar routine, the familiar ending. Number 18 also completely disappeared from this world. After Cheng Yu made a wish, he thanked the name Qian and came to the elder. The elder immediately spoke when he saw the person coming. "You are here, young man. This is the name Qian who was with Son Gohan at the beginning. His name is Tian Tian, and he is a very outstanding dragon. Then Tian Tian, are you willing to go to Earth with me to be a god?" Cheng Yu nodded to the elder and squatted down and looked at Tian Tian and said. Tian Tian actually had no reluctance, but he was a little reluctant to leave his hometown and tribe, and now the elder was still next to him, of course he was very nervous. "Go, Tian Tian, you are our excellent name Qian and a real dragon. I believe you can do it well." The elder also saw Tianation's embarrassment, so he spoke to comfort him. "Then I am willing. I also want to see what the people who can defeat Mr. Son Goku and his people look like." "Thank you, great elder. I will take the people away. Thank you for your help this time. Now I may have to go back to deal with some trivial matters. I will visit you later when I have time. Let's go, Tian Tian." Cheng Yu also explained to the great elder to avoid any misunderstandings. "Go, Tian Tian, you must remember that you are our excellent dragon clan member." Cheng Yu thanked him, bowed deeply, put his hand on Tianation's shoulder, and then teleported to the earth. Chapter 25. Cheng Yu took Tian Tian away from Namek and came to the temple of the gods on earth. Because there was a successor to the gods, Popo also woke up. When he saw Bulma and Shishi, Cheng Yu also explained why their husbands did not resurrect. Because the two women had experienced this series of things, they were very open-minded. After destroying the two androids, Trunks immediately notified the surviving humans on Earth. Although they were all in the base, Trunks ran to notify the bases one by one. At first, no one believed it, but later someone went out to see, and then they rushed out to see their homes. People stood on the ruins and cheered and shouted. Every survivor was loudly venting the depression and grievances for so long. Cheng Yu left and flew back to Bulma's home with the two women. After venting, people also planned to rebuild their homes. Everyone was doing their part, and the work began in an orderly manner. After Trunks notified, he also participated. "Well, Bulma, why don't you fill up the time machine with energy first and let me go back? I still want to go back to my own time and space," Cheng Yu said to Bulma while lying on the sofa in Bulma's house. "You may have to wait for a while, because the energy of the time machine is very rare, so it is not easy to collect." "Sorry. It's okay, just go back before the androids appear in our place. I will go to the Temple of Heaven to practice these days. When it's done, you can tell Trunks to come find me. Let's go." After saying that, he flew out without waiting for Bulma to reply. Bulma looked at Cheng Yu's actions without saying much, and looked at Chi-Chi. There was no other emotion in their eyes, just gratitude. In fact, why did Cheng Yu leave so quickly? Because he couldn't stand the feeling of being alone with girls, or two girls. For a hot-blooded man who has been single for 2 lifetimes, it was directly stressful, so Cheng Yu left. When he arrived at the Temple of Heaven, Cheng Yu also chatted with Tian Tian and Mr. Bobo, then said hello and went to practice in the Spirit Time House. Cheng Yu originally wanted to take a break, but on the other hand, even if he slept in the Spirit Time House, he would only sleep 1 day for a year outside, and how could he sleep for a year? So he went straight to the Spirit Time House. Cheng Yu did not rest, but put on the gravity suit, took out the gravity room, and adjusted the gravity to the gravity he could practice before starting to exercise. Originally, he should have practiced in the Spirit Time House some time ago, but Trunks and Cheng Yu's basic combat power was really much worse, so he just started practicing alone now. System, I have been in this world for about a week, plus the time in that world and the time in the Spirit Time House, it can be said that it is a very long time. Sign in. Cheng Yu thought that since he had been here for such a long time, he should be able to sign in something better this time. So he also called out the system to sign in. Ding, congratulations to the host for signing in and getting. Choice 1, Basic Combat Power x 1 billion, Senzu Beans x 100. Choice 2, Super Saiyan 3 Breakthrough Training Method and Super Saiyan 3 Full Power Training Method, Senzu Beans x 100. Cheng Yu looked at these 2 rewards without even hesitation, and said directly. System, choose sign in 2. As Cheng Yu's voice fell, a message was transmitted to Cheng Yu's mind by the system. Cheng Yu checked it bit by bit, fearing that he had missed something. After reading it, Cheng Yu also found a difference from the original plot, that is, the Super Saiyan 3 that Son Goku cultivated on King Kai's planet was not a complete form, and the full power Super Saiyan 3 mentioned by the system was different from the original plot. In short, the Super Saiyan 3 transformation described in the original plot is that the combat power increases greatly, the consumption is huge, and the burden on the body is also correspondingly very large. It cannot be used for a long time, and the consumption and burden are not proportional to the increase. According to the system's training method, these problems will not occur as long as you can practice to the full power of Super Saiyan 3, but the increase is still exactly the same as the original plot. It can only be said that the consumption and burden are balanced, and the transformation can be maintained for a long time in battle. In fact, according to the original plot, Super Saiyan 3 is a wrong transformation, but Cheng Yu does not think so. The so-called Super Saiyan 3 is an instant burst. In battle, you can instantly burst out the combat power that exceeds the enemy, and the result of winning or losing may be reversed, so it is still very practical. Cheng Yu's combat power is actually fully capable of breakthrough, but Cheng Yu had never tried to break through a new transformation, so the increase in cultivation has always been basic combat power. Now that he knows how to break through, Cheng Yu also left and began to try.